Okay, guys. So I've got some words here that my students were having trouble pronouncing. So I want to make this short video just for these 10 words here. So the first one, you can say Eid or Eid, and with this TH, you're biting your tongue. Eid, Eid, Eid. And then this is you could think of it. This is US pronunciation, by the way. So I'm using this sound. So again, either. Also, some people say either, either. And remember, in parts of the US and some parts of other English speaking countries, you can hear people not say this part, so they say other. You can hear other. So you can get either, either, or other. You can get all three of those pronunciations in the United States. Number two is tapped. Now, this vowel is eh. Some of my students hear it as a goat or sheep. So I put this picture of a goat with its tongue out here. So some of my students exaggerate and say, and, so you can say it. Um, ten, ten, ten. The PT at the end, um, you might have to practice with that. The P, usually you don't hear the P very strongly, but you hear the T strongly. So you get tapped, tapped. The P is there, your lips are closing. Tap. So there is still lip closing for the P, but you don't usually hear tap. You don't usually hear the tapped. Now this one, some of my students have trouble with the V sound, but they have an F. If they have an F in their first language, then I sometimes write a BF to try to help them make the V. So you're biting your lip the same as for an F when you make a V, but it's also sort of like a B because you're vibrating your throat. So we can try saying V, 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 V. And then the second part is oot. This T, your tongue is in T position, but usually we don't say oot. Usually we just say oot and stop. So then we're saying V, oot, vote, vote. Okay, so number four, some of my students have trouble making the ST sound at the beginning. So you can treat the S as a vowel. If you have trouble, you can say starred, id, started, started, started. So then the fifth one is flirting. So if you have trouble with the FL, you can make a syllable. You can treat L as a vowel. Say full bird, flirted, flirting, flirting, flirting. And in in US pronunciation, this T and the T in started are going to sound closer to a D. So we get full learning. So then number 6 is E, three, three. Number 7 is third E, third E. And I'm treating the R as a vowel. Um, a lot of my students have trouble with R combinations, consonant clusters with R, so you can treat R as a vowel and say third E. Then 8 is 13. So this, I put a little, it's like at the end of the first syllable, you put your tongue in T position, but don't spit it out. Don't say third, just say third, and then say teen, 13, 13. Okay, so number 9, this is hard for a lot of students. So if you treat R as a vowel, you can say sure, and then say M, sure, M. And then the P, you can just close your lips and stop the word. Shrimp, shrimp. And I put the P small below the line, the same as I did the T in number 8 and number 3. Okay, so number 10 is Wednesday. This one is a spelling irregularity um, because the D is silent. The first D is silent. So you can say oo ends, oo wins, oo Wednesday, oo Wednesday. And so also sometimes some people don't say this part. So you can also get Wednesday, 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 Wednesday. Um, it used to be the prestige pronunciation in the US to use the E pronunciation, Wednesday. But now I think most people, I think the majority are saying Wednesday, and maybe the prestige has reversed. Maybe Wednesday is now the prestige form. So now some of my students have trouble making the W sound, but you can think of it as a vowel oo very fast. That's why I wrote it double O. Oo wins. Ooh, Wednesday or Wednesday. So, okay. So what you can do with these is you can practice listening to my explanation and try to practice pronouncing them. And maybe you can find um, an a native speaker or an advanced non-native speaker to test them with to see how well you can say them. Thank you.